Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, we were able to get our technical stuff together, and we are going well now. We have our tech geniuses in here. I am not one of them. I will tell you that for sure. But we got everything straightened out, and time for Savannah Lexicon. This is WRUULP, Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings Community Radio with Global Soul. All right. I am so happy to have you here today. And it's going to be a good one this morning. I feel like if you're ready for a few laughs. And Savannah Lexicon, you know, we often do, most of the time, do rather serious topics and political people and social services folks and people from those kinds of organizations, educational organizations and all of that. But every once in a while, not that often, but every once in a while, we bring somebody on really just for fun. And today is such a day. We have with us today the world-famous Odd Lot Improv Group. How you guys doing?
We're great.
Woo! Woo! See?
Yip.
See? There you go. Okay.
We're full of yips.
All right, before we get going, I did want to at least say hello to you guys, but before we get going, I have a few things that I have to toss off. Number one is the general disclaimer. The viewpoints expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of WRUU, its license holder, or its staff. Okay. And believe me, that's not just for y'all. That's for me. They're worried more about what I'm going to say than you guys. Also, let me just make this passing comment again. If you're sliding around on the radio dial and happen to hear a claim from any other station as being the only live and local morning show in Savannah, you know, as you're listening to me, that just is not true. And if you happen upon a station and the host says things like liberalism is a mental disease, and they refer to the loony left, well, then you can almost certainly be sure you're not listening to WRUU. You certainly can be sure you're not listening to Savannah Lexicon. And the claim of being the only live and local station, I don't know. We've been in the newspaper. We've been on the radio. People are listening to us every day. I don't know how that continues to be running out there. But at any case, nonetheless, you are listening to the, shall we say, best morning show in Savannah. How about that on the radio? Okay. Odd Lot. And we've got several of the lot here with us today. I think Chris Susi is going to be, just to kind of keep things halfway manageable, we're going to have kind of one special spokesperson, as it were, for the group, and that is Chris Susi. How are you doing, Chris?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. We'll go ahead and just have the rest of the Odd Lot just briefly introduce themselves, at least give us your name if you want to tell us maybe where you're from, or if you're in school or working, whatever a little bit you might want to say.
Hi, I'm Megan Jones, Odd Lot member for about 6 years now. I came here from Chicago about 10 years ago, and I'm working as a photographer.
Good for you. And by the way, let me just say, Chicago, I mean, talk about improv city. That's the good. All right.
I'm Trick Kelly. I am been in with Odd Lot for 1 year, and I am originally from just north of New Orleans.
Aha. Okay, good.
And I'm John Dorsey. I've been a member of Odd Lot for the past 3 years, and I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay. All right. Good deal. So glad to have all of you guys in here this morning. I am sitting here all of Twitter, just no telling what might happen this morning, but I'm glad that you guys are here. All right, Chris, just tell us a little bit about Odd Lot, what y'all do, how long you've been going, and all that sort of thing.
Sure, absolutely. Odd Lot was actually founded in 2009 as Literary Improv League, and it was basically a group of actors who got together and decided that the rehearsal process was a little too strenuous on us, and we wanted to perform, but we didn't have the time to rehearse. So improvisation is an excellent way to get around that one caveat of rehearsal time. We were able to just meet, perform that night, because we make it up right on the spot. And so we started off by improvising our ways through classic literature. We did Moby Dick, and we did Christmas Carol and Treasure Island. And in doing so, we realized that not only did we have a knack for it, but it was a growing thing. The interest in it was growing. And we decided to graduate into the kind of gameplay that Whose Line Is It Anyway, the short-form games of most of the improv companies around the country were adopting comedy sports and things of that nature. So we started Odd Lot in 2010 in our new name and in our home, which was Muse Arts Warehouse. And we started adding members to our team and our ranks. And as of right now, we have over 20 active and inactive members of Odd Lot that sort of come and go and perform on a fairly regular schedule. Now we have shows on Mondays and Saturdays every week.
Okay, and you're normally at the Loft on Liberty and at the Savannah Coffee Roasters Cafe, is that?
That is our new home. We actually just acquired that earlier this year. We decked it out to be a little like cabaret comedy stage, and we started working 2 nights a week there. We also do a murder mystery there, which is a dinner theater murder mystery, which is also improvised. We make it completely up on the spot.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I've done a murder mystery. That can be a lot of fun when it's done well.
Oh, absolutely. we know the subtext there.
But that's amazing you guys actually make that up, because that's tough.
Yeah, it was interesting because for some reason there is a trend in murder mystery like dinner theater which suggests that it should be campy and bad. Because it's not really enjoyable unless it's campy and bad. And we noticed this. We actually went out and we did a lot of the dinner theaters. And a part of the joy that people were having was how campy and how bad it was. Right. But we decided that what we would do is something so original. We asked the audience who we were as characters and how we would interact with each other. And if we had any particular quirks. And that built the shows around who the characters were. And then the victim being, somebody who you never see, give that character all of this mystique and stuff that the audience generates. And so every show is original and every show is one of a kind.
Interesting. Boy, you guys are gutsy. Man, you are gutsy. I can't believe going out in front of all these people with, just anything could happen.
We're always amazed at how people respond with that, where they're like, "Oh, I can't believe you do that," and we have people that we admire so much in the performance world. Yeah. When we ask them, "Hey, come and play with us," and they're like, "Oh, I could never do that." We're like, "What do you mean you could never do that?" We're like, "What?" But we just do it.
But you gotta be quick.
It suddenly becomes really intimidating to think, "Wait, what do you mean you can't do it? I do it, and should I not be doing it?"
Well, I can understand it. See, because a lot of performers work on a very scripted,
of
whatever kind it is, whether it's singing or acting, or you've got your lines and it's a matter of memory and doing it, and you go out there in complete control.
Yeah,
you guys don't go out there in complete control at all.
No, it is reckless and dangerous, and somebody could lose an eye. That is generally how we perform. Remember, if you ever come to our shows, wear goggles.
Wear goggles, absolutely. Do we need like a what is it? Gallagher raincoat?
That can't hurt. It can never hurt to wear protective gear when watching improv comedy.
True enough. All right, absolutely true. All right, and Chris, now did you are from, where are you from?
I actually have been living here for about 25 years.
Oh, wow.
I was a military brat before that. So Savannah's as home as I have.
Okay. Excellent. All right. 25 years. I think 25 years is the required number of years. You just made it into being able to think of yourself as a true Savannah.
Well, not a true Savannian.
Well, by native Savannah, you know.
I get to call myself a resident now.
A resident. You can certainly at least claim residency.
Yeah,
you
I'm
know.
pretty sure that if
Because,
your grandparents weren't born in Savannah, you're not a Savannian.
Well, you may be true. Maybe it goes further back. You're absolutely right, but that's the point. Actually, that's how it is. If you're a native Savannah, and I am not, but if you're a native Savannian, man, you know, you got to go way back to.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Talk about improv.
See, hey.
Oh my God.
We've got a technician in full combat gear here.
We have improv going on, and the show's not even started, and it's not even from a member of the improv group, for crying out loud. I wish y'all could see this. The studio manager just walked in with a gas mask or something, and I've got to talk to him later about what in the world he even has that for. I don't know where that came from or what, but
you're dealing with dangerous toxic chemicals every day. You don't know that?
Yeah, here on the radio, it's the radio waves that kind of can go in your mouth and nostrils apparently. So you have to be protected.
So the listeners at home know we're all sitting on vats of poisonous gas.
Yes,
that's.
Yes.
Pretty much.
I neglected to tell you all about that when I invited you, but hopefully that doesn't, put you off too bad.
They look like pretty sturdy vats.
So yeah, one thing real quick before we get into some honest to goodness improv.
Sure.
Is I just wondered who might have something to say about. I know that y'all came into this a little bit from the side door, as it were, that in a sense that you came from a sort of a more theatrical.
Yeah, well, I mean, make no mistake, we actually are very passionate about improv. And,
I don't mean to imply that you're
as
not.
an acting tool.
Yeah.
It is actually an amazing way to get through a lot of your inhibitions, a lot of your fears, a lot of the problems that people have with like public speaking or even just meeting people is the fear of what to say and how to act and how to behave.
Right.
And so improvisation just teaches you how to react and interact. It's all about listening and then producing the most solid and controlled response to something. A lot of people think that it's just running around and being crazy, but what it really is listening to your partner, listening to your teammates, and trying to interject as much sense in, especially when it's gone nonsensical. You're still trying to ground and root and be forward and positive. Yeah, it's so strange because most people think of comedy as a reckless act, and the truth of the matter is, to do comedy really well, you have to have a sense of what is solid.
You do
before you start toppling it.
You do. That's absolutely true. Because if it is just walking around being crazy, I mean, that can be funny for about 2 seconds, and then it's just like, this makes no sense. It's got to make some sense of some kind.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one of the things that we came out and we were, from the very beginning, very family friendly. And we're very much about, and people think of it as clean humor, but it's not. It's humor that doesn't rely on shock value, that doesn't rely on, because anyone can say a swear word and get a response, because that's what they are. They're words that break the protocol of society. So we work within the protocol of society and create these scenes that people relate to, interact with, and don't have to have that very visceral response to something. We're not making them laugh because we did something inappropriate.
Right.
We make them laugh because something is incongruent.
Okay. All right. I'll go with that. That sounds good. That sounds good. Now, what I was wanting to ask, though, when I started out that, was if everybody might just take a moment and just tell us if there is a particular comedian and or particularly improv performer that has been a big influence on you that you truly, truly love. Anybody who wants to mention that?
Yes. So I don't come from a theater background. I actually come from an improv background.
Oh,
Improv
okay.
has always been for me because
Okay.
when I was in middle school and high school, I watched Whose Line Is It Anyway, the American version.
okay.
And my hero is absolutely Wayne Brady, hands down.
Is that right?
Oh my God, he is so clever and
Interesting.
quick. And I actually got to see him live in Peoria, Illinois. And I remember before we went in, we got to write on slips a possible song title for him. And there was like 2,000 people in the audience, and we all wrote one slip.
Wow.
He picked my song.
Is that right?
It was. And I don't know if it's as appropriate to say on the radio what that title was, but he sang it in the style of Prince, and I was so happy. It was like the best thing that has ever happened to me.
Okay, I appreciate your hesitation on saying what that song title was, because apparently it was something we might not want to actually use on air.
Absolutely.
So that's good. Okay.
My name is Trick.
Yeah, Trick.
Yeah, the comedian I really looked up to as a kid was Steve Martin. When I was
okay,
a kid, Steve Martin was at his peak of his stand-up career, and he would just go out and do these just absolutely crazy things.
I remember it
and
well.
it seemed like improv. It was a very scripted
Yeah.
stand-up comedy act.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like he was just going out there doing it just off the top of his head.
Yeah.
And so that's who I looked up to whenever I was a kid, just because it was just so crazy, yet people were still relating to it. This craziness.
I remember. Yeah, he was very, very funny. And you're right. And that's part of the whole thing, isn't it? Is that it seemed improv.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was actually, he knew exactly what he was doing,
Right.
and it was all worked out, but it seemed improv, and he could do it as if it was on the spur of the moment, and some hilarious stuff, some of which involved balloons, I remember.
Yep.
So, yeah. All right, Steve. All right.
And for me, I'm
I'm sorry. Tell me your
your
name.
name, John.
John.
Dorsey.
Okay.
And
It's too simple a name.
it
See,
is.
I can't-
It is.
It just goes.
my parents gave me a very bland name
Yes.
for a very
sound like
bland
an old-
existence.
Old jazz crooner, you know.
John Dorsey.
Here's
No, I
John
don't believe
Dorsey singing Nothing But the Blues.
And then a crowned horn comes in. When I was a kid, I was very much so into cartoons, more so than old comedian or any kind of comedian. I was very
Okay.
in love with cartoons everything.
All right.
But when I got older, a huge influence for me were the Marx Brothers. Groucho, Zeppo, Chico, and Harpo.
We're reaching back.
I love
Zeppo's
vaudeville.
your second Marx Brother choice.
Zeppo is my favorite Marx brother.
Is that right?
Yes,
Oh,
I
wow.
am the one person
I was going to say
in America.
I don't think there's a Zeppo fan club.
Well, it's me.
It's right there.
It's
you're
me
looking
and
at
a
it.
couple of mirrors.
Okay, I'd love to see your Zeppo. Okay, yeah.
But I really enjoyed, and not just them, but primarily them, but the whole concept of vaudeville, being able to go out, have an idea for what you're doing, but being allowed to do something different each night, and then take pieces of what worked and what didn't, and building upon that from there, and building something even stronger from the foundation that you've already had. So that's why I really like those guys.
Excellent. Okay, and before you get away, though, I do want to find out your cartoon favorite
My cartoon favorite
from back in the
from back in the day. So I was born in the early '90s. So my favorite were
God.
the Animaniacs.
Sucks older than you. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's the Animaniacs. There was a
The
but
Animaniacs were
See,
brilliant.
I-
Absolutely
I'm
brilliant.
I'm so I don't even know what you're talking about.
but I think
all
I
right,
was got at an early age because in the '90s there was a huge like '30s revival for a lot of different movies, because I know like Dick Tracy got a movie, The Phantom, like
Okay.
old film
Well, okay,
serials,
yeah,
like this
all
level
right.
of golden age Hollywood. So the Animaniacs were a cartoon about like a pastiche on 30s style cartoons. So they had kind of like rubber hose physics.
They kind
And
of
they
looked like
lit-
Felix the Cat,
Yeah.
early
Okay.
Mickey Mouse.
And so they had and actually one of the main characters was a direct take on Groucho Marx. So he had that kind of same Groucho Marx wit.
Okay,
So
you had the marks again. Okay. Excellent. All right, guys. I appreciate that. All right, let's do some. Let's do
Sure.
Some improv.
You know, starting off really easy on both listener and performer, we're going to go with alphabet. And alphabet is a simple game. It basically states that the conversation that the characters have to begin with the next letter of the alphabet. So they are basically going through the alphabet with the first word of every sentence. Now, what we usually do is we ask somebody for a place. Give me a location.
Let's try Antarctica.
There you go. You're in Antarctica, and then we start with a letter because we don't want to start at A. That's too easy. So let's go with.
Let's go with F.
Okay, so we start with F. We're in Antarctica. The players are Trick and Dorsey, and the most powerful thing in all of improv is a bell, because a bell starts it and ends it.
There you go.
So once we hit the bell, we'll be in freezing Antarctica.
Freezing. I'm so cold. I'm freezing.
Goodness, John, get a grip, man.
How can I get a grip? We are in the middle of Antarctica, and I'm cold.
I'm not shivering. Look.
Well, that's because you... I think that's because you're a jerk.
Just because you're cold doesn't mean I'm a jerk.
Okay.
Look, maybe you need to put some more clothes on.
Maybe you need to put some more clothes on.
No, I'm fine.
Oh, you're fine.
Perhaps you would like to wear my fur coat.
Quell your
Get a dictionary.
quell your attitude, my friend.
Really?
Oh.
Quell my attitude? Really?
Say it, I did.
To be sure, you did say that.
Under no circumstances did I stutter, except for that first time at the beginning, because I was so very cold.
Very cold. Very, very cold.
Well, this next letter is yours.
X marks the spot right where I left your coat, right over there. Go get it, put it on.
You got through that so easily, and I'm so upset.
Zipped right through it.
Antarctica is the worst place on this planet. It is the absolute worst thing this planet's created.
Before you start putting down Antarctica, maybe you should just calm down and get more comfortable, get a little warmer, and then you can have a fresh view of it.
Can't you let me have this? Why are you defending Antarctica?
Don't put this off on me.
Eyes? Eyes? Your eyes are glazed over.
And so they've made it through the entire alphabet. Ish. Ish.
Made it.
Made it.
Boy.
But as you can see, falling apart is almost as funny as keeping it together.
Man, see, this is why. This is why I say y'all are gutsy. Man, that is tough stuff. But my favorite, I have to say, was Quell.
Wow.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely. That was good. That was
of all the words that are used every day, quell.
I'm a walking thesaurus.
Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man.
You know thesauruses are extinct.
That,
I'm the last one.
the last thesaurus and the last Zeppo.
Yeah, that's right. The last Zeppo. We need to make that
Zeppo
movie.
fan. I don't know. Zeppo meets the thesaurus in Antarctica. And see, you see, as soon as I said Antarctica, by the way, I will note to the radio audience who can't see me, I'll tell you that I had some looks. As soon as I suggested Antarctica, there were like some looks over my way, like, what are you doing?
Oh yes, no, we're in full antagonizing the audience mode. I mean, if an audience member gives us a suggestion that we just can't carry very well, we get salty. It's true.
Excellent. Okay, all right. Let's just mention, while we can, briefly, and give everybody a breather so y'all can get ready for the next game. But you guys do workshops. Don't you?
Absolutely. We have classes. We call it Odd Lot Academy. And, as we were moving along, so many people wanted to be involved. But we actually use a very specific style of improv that not everybody is used to. Plus, Odd Lot over the years has sort of formed its own set of parameters for performance.
Yeah.
And so we started the Odd Lot Academy so that people could see our method, which is unique to our group. And one of the big ones is being family friendly, steering people into the idea that there is a ceiling to what you can think, and keeping you corralled in a certain mindset helps. Because in order to do improv well, you have to break down all your barriers. You have to be uncomfortable. You have to go past what is comfortable, and that oftentimes involves being not family friendly. So then we have to redirect to the point at which these are the parameters in which we perform, so that people don't go on stage and just start swearing up a storm and doing a lot of things, because we even have to train our audience. We have audience members who come in
I see.
and they want to shout out things, and it's like,
right.
hold it, just hang on, hear us out. Know that humor derives itself from the process and not the shock value.
Right. Okay, excellent. And the workshops, how often? What?
We have workshops every week on Tuesdays, and it's a drop-in system. You come by, you pay to come in. You can buy blocks of classes, but really, it's a great way. It's a great way to have a social activity, because you're playing games with a group of people. It's a great way to get used to speaking in a public setting without there being this pressure on you to memorize or have anything like that. So the games give you all you need, and then you just play them. And if you play them sincerely, A, it'll always be funny, and B, you get this rhythm and this idea that you can speak in front of anybody and have this kind of rapport.
Okay, and is that at Savannah Coffee Roasters?
That is also at Savannah Coffee Roasters. Okay. It's right on the loft, we aim to have an entire entertainment empire. We're looking at trying to create all kinds of things. We have a lot of video capability. We've been making short films, and we're looking at sketch comedy and doing things like that. So we're still growing. We're still exploring what we can do for the Savannah entertainment landscape.
Odd Lot Entertainment Empire.
Yes.
Okay.
Bringing back the thesaurus soon.
Yes. We are reintroducing the thesaurus to the wild.
There you go. Well, it's interesting, because I'll tell the listeners that they were kind enough to send me a list of some of the games that they did, and when I looked at Alphabet, I immediately thought about that. I thought about, well, okay, that's all well and good until you get to Q,
and X
and Z. It's like, whoa.
We get a lot of Xaviers and xylophones, X-rays, and
yeah. Good. Okay, let's do another game. Well, let's see. Yeah, let's do another short game. We're going to have to take a mid-show break, but we can do a short game here.
Sure. Let's do Ding. That's all three players.
Oh, we're going to bring in the bell.
Yeah.
We're bringing in the bell, guys.
And Ding is easy. Whenever the bell rings, they have to say the last thing they said differently. They have to replace it with a whole new concept and idea. And so in this case, we're going to say, who are these people to each other? What is their relationship to each other? Our performers.
So we're trying to identify that?
Yeah. Are they family members, employees? Are they,
These people, looking at them, I would think that they are...
Easy now. Careful there.
I would say that these people are probably in the medical profession, is what I'm thinking.
Perfect. There we go. Let's say they're a surgical team. All right, you're performing surgery, and this is a game of Ding. And
do you have the scalpel?
I have the scalpel, yes, doctor. I have 2 scalpels, yes, doctor. I've stolen all the scalpels out of the supply closet. Which one would you like?
The dull one.
The dull one?
Yes.
All right, one dull scalpel.
Oh, that one has rust on it. Oh, that one has someone else's blood on it. Oh, that one was mine. Thanks. I'm just going to take that back in the purse. All right.
Doctor, I think we might want to replace one of our members.
Replace one of our members?
Yes.
I actually just walked in from the street. Hi. I actually just came from another OR. You're needed over there. I actually am the one getting surgery on. Should I be out right now?
I think you'll be fine. If you just want to, you'll be A-okay. We'll just give you one of those little VR goggles and we'll let you watch Men in Black 2. So if you just want to take a seat...
Oh, not Men in Black 2.
It could be Men in Black 3. Now,
Okay,
if you could
okay.
please take a seat right here.
All right, but no anesthetic for me? None at all?
You'll be asleep in 10 minutes. Now you'll be asleep in 5 seconds. You'll be awake through the whole thing. It's a new experience we're trying here at the hospital. We want to keep everybody as lucid as possible so that they have an understanding of just really what we're doing as medical professionals.
Oh, I understand.
We're training as we go.
Exactly.
We're recruiting new surgeons. We are just pulling people right off the street and just training to be surgeons. Tomorrow you'll be on the other end of the operating
We're
room.
calling it the Street Doctor Program. We're calling it the Sidewalk to Operating Table Program. It's like farm to table.
Farm to table. Oh. Excellent. Oh, man. Did I say you guys are gutsy?
Maybe literally.
Man, I can't imagine trying to do this. You got to be quick, sharp. And particularly what for me is this early in the morning. I don't I don't get up that early.
Yeah, we just decided to stay up all night so we can reserve the energy. We'll collapse right after the show.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Excellent. Now, do you guys you're regularly performing here? Do you perform anywhere else? Do y'all go?
Oh, absolutely. We not only do we have shows out, we've taken our murder mystery on the road, and we've performed it all around the state. We've done our individual shows for a number of events, charities, and special occasions, and we actually do workshops for corporations and companies because as a team building exercise, improvisation helps people be put into situations, interact in situations, and give them a heads up to how to behave when certain things happen. So a lot of companies will use improvisation as a team building, leadership building skill set.
Excellent. Okay. We are just a little bit past the halfway point, so we are going to take a brief pause here. We will not be going long, but first I'm going to tell you that you are, in fact, listening to WRUULP, Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings Community Radio with Global Soul. Hold on, we won't be going long. We need to go. We need some more improv.
Absolutely.
Yes, we need some more improv. And so what are you guys thinking about now?
A great game to play, especially, mind you, a lot of improvisation comes in physicality. So seeing it on stage, you can do all kinds of great physical humor. Right. So the audience at home is missing out. We're juggling. We're standing on our heads.
Well,
we're doing Irish jigs.
Yes, we should make that point. This is, of course, radio, so we are limited to the verbal improvisation.
But there are a lot of
go ahead.
Great games that we can play, and one of our favorites is authors. We're going to play authors, and when I say one of our favorites, no one in the room likes this game. So,
Your favorite.
Okay.
So I'm going to make you play it.
And what is it again?
Okay, so authors is simple. Basically, we're going to assign each of them a style of book, like Dr. Seuss or Stephen King, and we can go from genres or to specific authors.
Literary references,
and then they're going to tell a story. All three of them are going to tell the same story. When I ring the bell, it's just going to change from them, and then of course the style will change because each of them are a different type of writer.
Oh,
that's right. So we'll start with Trick, and we'll say, Trick, what author is he?
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
I'm at a loss.
Would you like me to do F. Scott
Be
Fitzgerald?
very wordy.
I will do F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Okay, here we go.
Keep saying the great
Now back to Trick. We need an author for him, and apparently it has to be a more contemporary.
A more contemporary.
Stephen King. Stephen King, you can do.
Stephen King.
All right, Dorsey. Here we go. We need a type of writer or genre.
Well, what are we doing now? Genre.
Yeah, a genre.
Okay,
yeah,
a mystery.
Mystery.
Okay, mystery.
All right.
Mystery.
And a genre for Megan.
What do you call like soap opera type?
We can do a romance novel.
Romance.
Yeah.
Romance.
A romance novel.
There
Okay,
you
so
go.
we have 4 authors. Trick, who are you?
Stephen King.
Dorsey.
mystery writer.
Megan.
Romance.
And I'm F. Scott Fitzgerald. All right. So now all we need is a title of a fictional book or story. Just a title. Just throw one out.
The title.
Yeah.
Okay. It happened in Savannah.
It happened in Savannah. And we'll start with Trick. Go.
Little Billy was walking down River Street, slowly in the darkness. And he looked off into the foggy distance, and there he saw the creature.
The creature was about 6 feet tall in a trench coat and a 30 style Dick Tracy hat. Little Billy wasn't sure what was going on, so he looked around the alleyway for clues. He found a trash can, some alley puddle juice, and a series of broken pieces of glass.
Little Billy was confused and flummoxed, but upon looking closer at the beast, he realized it wasn't such a beast. Her eyes glistened blue diamonds. She had a face that angels spoke of. Billy collected up the glass as an offering to the beast. Perhaps she would like the glass. He approached slowly, carefully, quietly.
And that's when Billy said to the dame, "Hey, I've got a party to go to. My friend Gatsby up on the hill is telling us that he's got the most opulent and popular party." So they jumped into the jalopy and went up the hill. And as they went along, they popped open some champagne and drank the whole bottle. But upon arriving, they realized that one bottle wasn't going to be enough for this party. No, sir. They went right in and said, "Gatsby, Gatsby, what do you got to drink?" And Gatsby said, "Everything."
So then, little Billy found himself cornered by the lady in the trench coat. And as she took off her hat, he could see the large creature.
The creature Billy had seen in his dreams before, but now he knew that they were just memories. On the night of the disappearance of his favorite dog, Scruffy, he could tell the outline of the creature on the woman's head was the same as the creature that disappeared his dog. And
How could he dare to love such a creature who had stolen his dog? His heart beat fast in his chest. He did not know. He looked upon the creature and uttered the words, "My love, did you steal my dog? How could you? We were going to start something beautiful, something special, but now my heart is broken, shattered in my chest." Billy looked away in sadness.
And just then, Gatsby came up with a martini and said, "Hey, chumps, come on out to the pool." And it was just then that Billy realized that he had seen Gatsby long ago, not as dapper, not as dressed up, not in this opulent palace that he called a home, with the blinking lights and the neon signs. No, Gatsby was, in fact, Scruffy, his dog.
Oh, what
spoilers.
tale. What a tale.
What a twist.
What a twist!
What a tale, a twist. I can't even believe it. All right. I'm still trying to. Yeah. All right. That was authors. And that was some very interesting characterizations there of genres and authors, I must say.
We started with a whisper thing. We had a whisper thing going on at first.
There was a little whispering going on, but that added some drama to
Set
it.
the scene.
Yeah, set the scene. Set the scene.
But you can't have Gatsby, no.
And then the irrepressible Gatsby. Okay. All right. Hang on with us just a minute, guys. I do have to take off for just a second, but we're going to be gone only for a moment. Hold on.
This portion of WRUU-LP Savannah Soundings programming is made possible by a grant from Sentient Bean, offering fair trade coffee, vegan and vegetarian food, and breakfast all day. Located at 13 East Park Avenue, across the street from the tennis courts at Forsyth Park. Our menu and special events listings can be found at sentientbean.com.
And as a business, if you enjoy our programming on WRUU-LP, please support the station with a donation. Let your customers, neighbors, and friends know that you share our vision of building a thriving community based on diverse, vibrant radio programming. As a business partner, our listeners will know you support Savannah's only broad-based community radio station. Become a tower sponsor or underwriter. To check out the levels of corporate sponsorship and to donate, go to www.wruu.org/corporate. Again, to check out the levels of corporate sponsorship and to donate, go to www.wruu.org/corporate. Thank you for listening to and supporting WRUU-LP. And thank you so much for listening today to Savannah Lexicon. And our guest here today are the Odd Lot Improv Group, and you have been hearing some of their off the cuff, off the top of their head improv stuff going on. And you've been laughing probably, because I have. So I bet you have too. And, we have had some interesting things going on here this morning, and we have got a little bit more to come. So, all right. We probably have time for, I'm thinking, one more. And so we want to see what you guys, what things are going to come out of your mouths here on this last little game that we will play for improv. And what are we going to go with?
Well, since the three of them are gathered around one microphone, I think three-headed storyteller.
Three-headed storyteller.
Three-headed storyteller is a lot of fun and an easy way to get the players to really be angry with one another.
Oh, well, this should be good, yes.
So three-headed storyteller is simple. Basically, three players become one creature with three heads, and they can only speak one word per head. So it's one word at a time.
Oh, my goodness.
And so let's get Megan in the middle.
Oh, okay.
There we go. See, it's a more balanced three-headed creature. So now all we need is the name of the story that the three-headed storyteller is going to tell us.
The name of the story will be... Excuse me. One day in Savannah, there was a huge protest march.
One day in Savannah, there was a huge protest march, as told by the three-headed storyteller.
Marching?
Was
A
Great.
pastime.
in
Savannah.
One
day
I
decided.
to
march.
In
a
Alley.
alone.
it
Was
Ineffectual.
towards
anyone.
Anywhere.
anytime
So
I
went
to
Facebook.
and
invited
Everyone.
to
the
Rally.
that
was
In
the
alley.
my
alley
Was
smelly.
and
no one.
Came.
unfortunately
So
I
marched
over
towards
the
march
that
was
occurring
somewhere.
else
More.
Friendly.
And
Populated.
And
vibrant.
And
smellier.
Oh my God.
No, what the listeners at home don't get is the glaring eye looks between
Yes.
the heads
Yes.
as they are set up for
Yes.
disaster.
For the smelly alley rally.
The smelly alley rally. How did you miss alley rally? He set you up for alley rally.
It's one word at a time. It's not that easy.
No, it's not. I assure you, it's not. Oh man, that was good though. That was good. Yeah, we are radio, so you guys are not giving the benefit of the visual display that's going on here, which, by the way, is quite interesting at times.
We're all supermodels.
Yeah, okay.
We're just beautiful, gorgeous people.
Glistening bodies.
Glistening bodies.
Is are you talking about some other group? Oh, you mean no, wait, you mean you
Remove this
guys.
bond
Oh,
from
right.
my heart.
No, absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Thanks for radio.
These four people are fine physical specimens, and you will be amazed when you see them in person.
All right, here's your $20.
I thought we said 40.
You're really selling it.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna get into the last phase here in a minute. So where I get to run my mouth some more and say some things. But before we go, before we get into that, I did want to give y'all sort of a last word here, and again, tell us your performances are generally where and when.
They're at the Loft on Liberty, which is directly above the Savannah Coffee Roasters, and we have performances Mondays and Saturdays. We have our classes on Tuesdays, and we do the Murder Mystery Dinner Theater at the Coffee Roasters on Friday evenings. You can find all this out at oddlot.lol, which we're very proud of, oddlot.lol.
That was good. Yeah, when I was looking up for the to get ready for the show, I was noticing that. That's good. I've never seen that. Oddlot.lol. And you do have workshops in a kind of a just drop in as you will basis, which is those are when?
On Tuesdays.
Those are on Tuesdays at what time? I mean,
we actually broke them into age ranges. So from 4 to 5, it's 8 to 12. From 5:30 to 6:30, it's 13 to 17. And at 7 p.m., it's 18 to adult. So 7 p.m., 18 to adult. You come out, you play games. You explore being in a performance atmosphere without any threat.
Okay, excellent. So you did it in age ranges. That makes it even better. Well done. Okay, and any other? So there's no particular. I mean, you're doing your regular. There's no other performance that's coming up anytime soon.
Not really, but
okay.
if you pay attention to oddlot.lol, we will always keep you up to date on the things that we do. Like I said, we're looking at video production. We're talking about a sketch comedy show. We have all various forms of media entertainment in our grasp.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Well, I certainly appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you so much. This has been a blast. Like I say, I normally do rather serious stuff. Although, let me say to the listeners, even the serious conversations usually have some chuckles involved.
Oh, yeah.
So there are
absolutely.
chuckles, even with serious conversations. But not normally do I have the pleasure of just doing something this much fun, and I sure do appreciate you guys coming in.
Thanks for having us.
My pleasure, and so you guys are going to see me in the audience soon.
Excellent.
But again, thanks very much, listeners. We're going to just break away for just a minute, and then I'm going to come back and have a few announcements and a few things to say. So hang in there, won't be gone long. All right, I'm back. Okay, we are getting ready to close it out in a little less than 10 minutes. Hope you enjoyed that. That was fun, having Odd Lot in here and just having some good fun. And I did want to let you know about a few things, as I normally do on my shows, about what's going on. First thing I want to let you know is next week, 2 more very, very good shows. On Tuesday, I'm going to be very happy to have Mayor Pro Tem and Alderwoman at Large, Carol Bell. And she is going to be talking about the Summer 500 internship program the city has, but also other things, not just that. That's going to be a very good show. There's so much going on in Savannah these days in terms of city planning of all sorts and all kinds of things. So I'm trying to get some of the city officials in. Had Bill Durance last week, and so lots of good stuff going on there. Also on next Thursday, we're going to have another interesting show, a little bit different. We're going to have some storytelling, a little bit of storytelling in here, in advance of Flannery O'Connor Childhood Homes. They call it a lecture, but it's Power of Storytelling that is coming up next week, and that's going to be our guest. I'm going to have some individuals from the Flannery O'Connor Childhood Home, as well as a couple of the featured storytelling guests, the writers who are going to be part of that, and they'll be here and give a little reading of some of their material as well. So that's very good. I'll just go ahead and tell you, in weeks to come, on the following Tuesday, I'll have Vicki Weeks, the executive director, I believe is her title, of Gray's Reef National Marine Sanctuary, and also the woman who had the brilliant idea originally of establishing a radio station that turned out to be WRUU. So talk about good ideas, man. And then a week from Thursday will be the Simona Perry and another guest with her as part of the Ogeechee Riverkeeper documentary project. And that is a project that they are documenting the oral kind of histories, if you will, oral accountings of people's relationship, really, with the Ogeechee River through the years and through the decades. And so a documentary project that I think is an excellent thing. Moving a little bit forward after that, the following week, going to have Michael Plosky from First City Network and the executive director of Savannah Pride. So we have got some very good guests coming up in coming weeks that I am looking forward to, and I hope you'll be tuning in. It's Savannah Lexicon, of course, every Tuesday and Thursday from 8 to 9 in the a.m. And hope that you'll be listening. By the way, there is a Savannah Lexicon Facebook page. Please check it out and make any comments you might want to make of any kind whatsoever, good, bad, indifferent, whatever the case may be. Want to let you know that tomorrow, the 19th, the Savannah Bicycle Campaign is going to be recognizing National Bike to Work Day. This is a celebration, if you will, for going hundreds of cities in the U.S., and we are celebrating it here. And from 7:30 to 9 a.m. at the Savannah Bicycle Campaign headquarters at 1301 Lincoln Street, which is the corner of Lincoln and Henry, there will be free coffee that is being provided by Foundry Coffee Pub, and free healthy snacks that's being provided by End Market. That is, again, in celebration of National Bike to Work Day. And by all means, if you are someone who's going to take advantage of that and bike into work, and you're located such that you might stop by at 1301 Lincoln Street, get you a free cup of coffee and a healthy snack, then you might want to consider doing that. And that is tomorrow morning and day, National Bike to Work Day. And John Bennett with the Savannah Bicycle Campaign does, in fact, he is a WRUU guy. He has his own radio music show, actually, here on WRUU. Let's see what else is going on. I wanted to note last night was the public strategic planning meetings for the Savannah Forward program as the city is developing its kind of comprehensive planning document to work off of. And they've been having these public planning meetings where the public is involved and to make their comments. I'll say that I was there last night at the Savannah Civic Center. Very interesting experience. All sorts of people were there. There were probably about 100 people. That's a lot. I guess in a way I almost wish there had been even more, but that's a lot. And, from 6 to 8 p.m. last night. And people were commenting about all sorts of things, traffic, traffic and speeding on Whitaker and Drayton was one of the big issues talked about. Traffic and speeding on Anderson and Henry was talked about. A feeling that the city government needed to be aware of the residents' needs as much as they ostensibly do the tourist industry. That was a common theme that was talked about. There's also concern about the short-term vacation rentals that seem to be popping up in the downtown area a lot. Some people are not very happy about that, and one individual made the point that it apparently, if I understood it correctly, is disallowed, that kind of thing, in sort of the Victorian the Victorian area, a little further out from the heart of the historic district, where perhaps it would be a good thing. There are so many houses that are abandoned. If people could buy them and fix them up with the idea of doing short-term rentals, that would be a big, big boost for that area, which is, of course, economically distressed, and a lot of homes that are kind of sitting empty. Whereas we really don't necessarily, some people would say, need short-term vacation rentals downtown, where housing is already at a premium, and rental units, and particularly affordable rental units, are not easy to come by. That, in general, was another factor that was talked about a good bit, was the amount of, the rent and how difficult it is for renters, and particularly, of course, many people working downtown who work in the hospitality industry, don't make a lot of money, but they can't manage to live anywhere close to downtown either, or at least not in downtown. Anyway, a lot of things there. The next one is May 18th, Temple of Glory Church, 1105 Stiles Avenue, 6 to 8 p.m. for District 1. And I believe that is the final public strategic meeting for the Forward Atlanta Plan. So if you want to have your voice heard, that's the last chance. You don't necessarily have to be living in that district to go to the meeting and to have your voice heard. So don't think that you can't be part of that unless you live in that community. Okay, that's going to do it for me today on Savannah Lexicon. I do appreciate you listening so much. And this is, of course, WRUU-LP, Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings, community radio with global soul. And tune in next week